February 12th, 2021, a film called Willy's Wonderland was released on video on demand and many different streaming platforms, produced and starring Nicolas Cage, among many others. And today, we'll see if this film is any good or if it's gonna crash and burn. Alright, let's start with the plot. Nicolas Cage plays a quiet loner character known as the Janitor. He's driving down a quiet Texas road when he accidentally runs over a spike strip. And he's picked up by a tow truck driver who takes him to a shop and tells him that it's going to be a lot of money to fix his car. Unfortunately, Nicolas Cage's character doesn't have any money, and credit cards can't be used because ATMs don't work. So, he meets a character named Tex who offers him a job. Overnight cleaning staff at a children's restaurant known as Willy's Wonderland.
Welcome to Willy's Wonderland. Spend the night cleaning Willy's Wonderland, and I will pay to have your car fixed. Deal? You are officially on staff.
Lots of inspiration taken from old-timey Chuck E. Cheese, and a lot of people are making comparison to the obvious Five Nights at Freddy's. Personally, yes, I do see a lot of the Five Nights at Freddy's representations in this film, but it does do its own thing with its own character, so I can respect it for that. Nicolas Cage's character essentially just spends the night cleaning the facility while also fighting off killer animatronics. A group of teenagers are introduced. They all faced a bunch of trauma back in their past with the same restaurant, and are constantly trying to bring it down to the ground by fire. They're trying to constantly get Nicolas Cage's character out of the restaurant, and at one point they all go to the roof, trying to get one of the friends that went in there trying to convince Nicolas Cage to leave the building. When the roof collapses and they all fall in, next thing you know, each one of them, except for Nicolas Cage and the main teenage girl, are all killed off one by one. While at the same time, Nicolas Cage is killing off the animatronics, one by one. It's eventually revealed that the animatronic restaurant was opened up by a serial killer and his satanic cult serial killer buddies, who eventually decide, hey, you know, we have a restaurant. You know, killing ensues, a secret, scandal. And it's all fun and games until the cops show up.
When the police show up and corner the cult in a little room of the restaurant they're using to essentially kill families and kids, in secret, they decide to do a little ritual. A ritual that's a combination of drinking the Kool-Aid and Chucky. Essentially, whenever they kill themselves with the Kool-Aid, their souls are transferred to inanimate object bodies, the animatronics. It's not actually that bad. I don't know why people would...
So, after this little inconvenient accident happened, the restaurant is shut down for a while, before Tex purchases the restaurant and reopens it under the same name with the same animatronic mascots that were used all those years back. And yeah, because they're the same animatronics, they're the same ones that are possessed by the cult members. And so, throughout the years, the animatronics say stuff they're not programmed to say, become violent, and actually physically eat people in the restaurant. They're closed down again, but even though they're closed, the animatronics keep finding ways to get out of the restaurant and kill and eat people in the city. Town. Small town. So, the sheriff, Tex, and the tow truck driver make a deal with Willy and the gang. They say, if we bring you people, and, just leave us alone. They've been doing that for years, until Nicolas Cage's character shows up and has a good old time. Perfect time to transition over to the effects of the film. Seeing as this is a rated R horror film, you gotta have some pretty decent blood effects. Well, a lot of the human deaths are done pretty well, in fact, decently well. My favorite kills from the film aren't human. They're the animatronics. The main reason why most people watch this movie is to see Nicolas Cage being a badass and killing animatronic robots, and that's what you get. And you get good doses of it, actually. My personal favorite animatronic kill is whenever Nicolas Cage curb stomps a gorilla into a urinal. One by one, each animatronic's taken down multiple different ways, eventually until the final big showdown between Willy and Nicolas Cage. That ends how you expect it. Nicolas Cage beats Willy and, drives off in the sunset. Kinda. Drives off into a turtle, actually. So, do I recommend Willy's Wonderland as a film you and the friends and family and kitties and the dogs can watch? Yeah, I enjoyed it. I really liked this film. It's one of those films where you just sit down and turn your brain off to enjoy it. There's a lot more backstory here than I first expected, and if they ever do make a sequel, we can explore a lot more of that backstory, possibly who each of the Satanist serial killers were in the past, who they were while they were alive, or what they did in between being alive and being animatronics, or what they did while they were animatronics before they met Nicolas Cage and died again. And there's always the possibility of the sequel taking place afterwards, where Nicolas Cage decides to hunt down other animatronics that are possessed. There were a lot of unused animatronic designs and ideas for this film, including a dog and many other types of animatronic creatures that could have been utilized. Reuse those designs for a new film. Just, don't bring back any of the original ones, or at least if you do it in a way that will make sense. My idea for a sequel is that even though Nicolas Cage killed the animatronic bodies, the souls are still alive, so they just transfer themselves to new animatronic bodies, and Nicolas Cage decides to take care of them again. A lot of people first thought that Nicolas Cage not speaking throughout this film was definitely a no-go, but Nicolas Cage actually wanted a film where he didn't have any roles, and that's one of the main reasons why he came to this movie. He even became a producer. This film only had a budget of $5 million, so with what they had, they did pretty well. And that's about all I have to say about Willy's Wonderland. I loved it. I'm not gonna lie. I really enjoyed this film. And, if you're just looking for a movie you could just sit down and turn your brain off to and enjoy Nicolas Cage beating up a bunch of animatronics, go ahead and watch this film. It's definitely not a masterpiece, never is gonna be a masterpiece, but it's gonna be here, and it's gonna be good. I give Willy's Wonderland a 4 out of 5.
He's not trapped in here with them. They're trapped in here with him. It's your birthday, and we want you to have fun. It's your birthday, so let's party. It's birthday time.
What do you want me to review next? Let me know in the comments below. My next review will not be of a film or a video game, but rather a book. Yeah, I'm reading something this time. I'm going to be reading a little novel known as Star Wars Death Troopers, which is essentially taking this universe of Star Wars and turning it into a horror film. Look forward to that coming out within the coming weeks, and check out Willy's Wonderland on the numerous platforms it's offered. Give these guys profit for these quarantine times. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Sky from Sky's Horror Place, letting you know that horror is for everybody, no matter what you are. Whether you're a killer animatronic, silent Nicolas Cage, or anything in between that. I'll see you next video. Damn it, I told myself I wouldn't be making any Five Nights at Freddy's references during this goddamn video, but look at me now. Hey, I'm a cash grab, aren't I?
I'm breaking the silence. I'll make my presence known this time. It's my right to stand by.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, punch the like button in the face like a boss, and bye guys all around. Whoosh.